I've been talking with some of my friends who've tried learning the guitar in the past, or maybe they're actively trying to learn the guitar right now. And one of the biggest challenges that they talk about is just chord changes. And this is one I hear a lot. And it makes sense that it's difficult because if you go from never playing guitar, all of a sudden you have to fret like three, four notes at a time. That can be pretty difficult. And then all the while you're thinking like, what's my next chord, right? So I think one of the things that would really help is just a physical exercise, like that doesn't really isn't very musical, and it's just gonna strengthen our fingers and just get us used to moving them around on the fretboard. Figure out how much pressure is actually required, and we're gonna synchronize our hands together also. So let's start on the first fret of the E string. So just that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to our A string all the way up to the high E and back down. And we're gonna really try to avoid lifting our fingers off of the fretboard too much, like how my pinky does. I'm working on that. But yeah, we're just gonna do that, and that's just gonna help us get accustomed to how much we actually need to press on the strings, and it's also gonna develop that strength and everything like that. So the next thing I would say is with your chord changes. Chord changes don't always have to be like instantaneous, right? Like depending on what kind of song you're playing, if it's a real jumpy song, like there's a moment between chords where it's okay to strum open strings, and it actually sounds really cool. Like if you're just playing something like with a G major, C major, D major. So there's like a little moment between each chord where I'm kind of just strumming just open strings. Um, and that just kind of builds up just the tension, I guess. And then once you get to the next chord, it resolves. But it happens so fast that you almost don't really notice it. Um, yeah, so cheat with your chord changes. It's actually gonna just make it a lot less pressure. Now the final thing that I'll say is before you start playing, just think about where your fingers are and where they need to go, and plan it out and just go slow. Like you don't need to rush into these things, right? Like if I'm playing from G major, then going to C major. This is actually like C major 9 because I keep this D note in here, the third fret on the B string. But a lot of the times that works really well because now we're going into the D. So we're just using that D note as kind of our anchor throughout the whole thing. But let's say you're going to more like of a traditional C major shape. So this one here. So third fret on the A string, second fret on the D string, first fret on the B string, right? So if you're going from G major to that C major, so I moved my ring finger to the C kind of before I did a lot of other stuff, like before I fretted the other strings. And the reason is because like really the first note of the chord is going to be like the most important one in a lot of those songs, right? So as long as you're hitting that first note, a lot of people aren't going to notice that you haven't really played the whole chord. And like I've did that with the G as well, right? Like I hit just and I didn't even have anything fretted for the D string when I started playing, or for the D chord when I started playing on the D. So like it kind of just works out really nice like that. So yeah, don't think that you need to be super rigid. Like I'm an experienced guitar player, and even that's kind of pretty clunky and hard for me to think like I need to get right to that chord right away. No, no, no. We can just play that first note of the chord. And then the rest of the chord can follow. I hope this helps. Have an awesome weekend, everybody.